Hey guys, today we are working on the girlfriend's Jeep. This is going to be a 2001 Jeep Cherokee Sport. This is the inline 6 4.0. What we're going to be doing today is going to be changing out the idle air control valve. I already ran to the store, the Advanced Auto Parts, and got this part number. It's going to be a VW part number 22969. Spent about $60 on it. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to fix our rough idling issues. There are some videos that suggest about how to clean the idle air control valve, which I have already done twice with no change. The other thing that I've done differently on this Jeep is change the fuel injector. So I did a 4 hole injector swap. And I have also already tried to fix numerous amounts of vacuum leaks. So the removal of the throttle body on the NE 4.0 is a pretty simple and pretty straightforward process, simply because it's cable actuated. So one of the things that we need to do is pop off the flexible elbow that connects your airbox to your throttle body. And it has two plastic clamps, which are pretty easy to pry up. Pull from here up, and you pull out your zip tie clamp. It's going to be on both sides. You wiggle it off, set that to the side. The other thing you need to do is pull out your cruise control cables, your accelerator cables, and your transmission kickdown cable. The other thing that you need to do is remove the pigtails from your mass airflow sensor, remove the pigtail from your throttle position sensor, and remove the pigtail from your idle air control valve, which is back here. Back here. The other thing that you need to do is you need to grab your wrenches and your sockets, and you need to start pulling out these 4 bolts that hold down your throttle body. Now, if you've never pulled out your throttle body, the other thing that you're going to need is a throttle body gasket. I have already swapped this one a couple of months back in my attempt to fix all these vacuum leaks, which it did have a cracked and pieces missing off the throttle body gasket. I had this other gigantic leak up here and a numerous amount of leaks here and there, which have already been plugged, along with a new PCV valve and a cat. Anyways, get him out of there, make sure we don't start the Jeep with him in there, which will be disastrous and fatal for... What are you doing in there? Anyways, back to our scheduled programming. Once you get all these bolts out, you're gonna pull out your throttle body, and for the sake of time, I have already done though. You're gonna inspect your throttle body gasket. This one is a new one, and this I don't expect it to crack and to be still pretty okay. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna pull out your T20 Torx. You're gonna remove the 2 screws that are here at the idle air control valve. Remember the orientation of the idle air control valve. Remove both of these screws. You're gonna pull it out as so. I'm gonna bring it up over here. I'm gonna compare it to our new idle air control valve. Make sure that we have the same part and the same consistency, which we do. We have the little O-ring, mind that as well. The same pigtail connection, so we should be pretty okay. Remember the orientation. We're gonna reinsert, being careful with that that O-ring, and we're going to start guiding in our screws by hand. Sorry, it's going to get a little shaky. Didn't bring my GoPro today, so we're doing this off the cell phone. Make sure you don't cross thread these, so that's why we're doing them by hand first. And usually this is the way you want to start things on anything that you need to screw in to avoid cross threading it and whatnot. This is your T20 Torx. Sorry, I'm not a fan of using Allen keys on Torx, even though it might work if that's all you have, or if you're really in a pinch. Now this isn't something that we want to tighten down to a death grip, because you can tear that that little O-ring. But we do want to make sure that it's snug. Just a quarter turn with the wrench. Now everybody else has their preference as to applying lubricants or any type of silicone sprays. I don't like doing that, me personally, and I might be wrong. And the reason is because I've seen it when I've tried it. I try to apply these with some silicone grease, and it turned into liquid as soon as the engine started warming up. And because this is an electronic sensor, it might interfere with something in there. But then again, I'm not a professional, so I might be wrong. But I could also be right. I don't want to spend another $60 on the same part. So once you have your new sensor in, we're gonna screw everything back in, and I'm gonna put you guys on hold or on pause, and I'll tie everything up and we'll start it up and see how we do. So pretty much this is the result from changing that idle air control valve. I've never even seen this Jeep come up to close to 1,000 RPMs, like in the 5 years or so that we've had this Jeep. As you can see, it's 234,000 miles on it, and this is actually probably one of the better repairs that we've done on this Jeep. Along with that 4.0 hole, that 4-hole injector upgrade. This is actually idling really good. It doesn't smell like crap anymore. Doesn't run like crap anymore. And that's the operating temperature. That's the oil pressure. As you heard from the little short clip up in the engine bay. No knocks, no loud leaks, nothing that you can hear an exhaust leak or any kind of vacuum leaks either. So I say that this Jeep is pretty much fixed for the most part, as far as the engine management portion of it. I mean, of course, it still has quite a bit of work to go to get actually. We're actually getting it ready to go out to a Jeep run here on April 7th. It's gonna be a Jeep run from several clubs here down in South Texas. But yeah, I mean, cleaning the idle air control valve kind of helps, I guess, but changing it out, $60 into it, I think it's okay. Alright, cut it here. Thanks guys, thank you for watching.